If you're like many of the families that I work with, you've traveled all over the world, you've seen different cities, you've probably lived in multiple cities around the country, but I promise you, there is no better place to live than Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh is just an extraordinary city that is super unique, has amazing people. In this video, I'm gonna count down 10 features that are unique to the Pittsburgh area. Hope you'll enjoy this video and learn something new about the Pittsburgh region. And like me, you might fall in love with this place as well. My name is Mark McClinchie, and I'm a real estate agent here in the Pittsburgh area. I serve the entirety of Allegheny County and its surrounding communities. I started this YouTube channel back in 2020 as a service to out-of-state relocations and families that need help learning about the region and trying to figure out what are the communities within the Pittsburgh region that might be the best fit for them. All right, let's jump in and get started. Number 10 on the list is Pittsburgh is the city of bridges. There are 446 bridges within Pittsburgh, which beats the city of Venice, Italy for having the most bridges in the world. And we have lots of hills and valleys and rivers and streams. So we have a lot of bridges that make the city unique. You might be able to see a few of the bridges behind me. Most of them are made from steel that was produced during the heyday of the steel industry in the Pittsburgh area. Bridges really are major reference points as you work your way through the Pittsburgh region. And there are some extraordinary bridges. So if you are a bridge lover, you'll see all kinds of different styles and architecture. So be sure to check out all 446 bridges in the Pittsburgh region. Pittsburgh is also the city of staircases. There are over 800 sets of public staircases maintained by the city of Pittsburgh, some of them in varying condition, but it is a great way to traverse through the steep hills and valleys throughout the Pittsburgh region where driving on a street just isn't super practical, and the staircases are a great way to get from point A to point B in a lot quicker fashion. In number 8, of course, with all of these steep hills, we've found other ways to get up and down those hills. And you can see behind me, this is the Monongahela Incline. This was built in 1870. So we're talking over 150 years old. One of the oldest inclines in the world, still active today. There's 2 inclines here up on Mount Washington. You have the Duquesne Incline and then the Monongahela Incline. Should be able to see behind me a glimpse of the Monongahela coming up the incline. And it's a great place for tourists to come and see. It's also a practical way to get to Station Square. A lot of people that live up here on Mount Washington use the inclines regularly to commute into the city. Number 7 on our list is the fact that the city of Pittsburgh has 90 distinct neighborhoods within the city limits. Now, the city of Pittsburgh limits are actually quite small compared to major US cities around the country. So to have 90 neighborhoods within the city limits is pretty extraordinary, that every single neighborhood has a different vibe, a different flavor. I strongly suggest if you're visiting Pittsburgh for the first time, you want to check out as many of those 90 neighborhoods as you can and really get a feel for the local culture. But yeah, very distinct neighborhoods, all have different real estate markets, all have different offerings and pros and cons. So check out the 90 distinct neighborhoods within the city of Pittsburgh. So if you're curious and you're thinking about a move to the Pittsburgh region, please go ahead and book a call with me. Be sure to hit the QR code on your screen or a link down in the description where it'll launch a form where you can tell me a little more about what you're looking for, what your needs are, what your goals are, and you'll be able to book an appointment with me directly from that link. So check out the form and book an appointment today, and we can discuss whether or not Pittsburgh might be the right move for you. Number 6 on our list is the fact that the Pittsburgh region does not have a grid system. So just getting around, navigating your way through the Pittsburgh region, it's going to be really difficult. Sometimes locals just refer to local landmarks as opposed to giving you directions with streets on them, and there just is not a direct way to get to a lot of places. It's pretty circuitous, but that's all because of the way Pittsburgh is laid out and the topography and the hills, the valleys, the rivers, and all the bridges. So be careful when you're navigating through the Pittsburgh region, but don't count on having a grid system because it does not exist. Number 5 on our list is that Pittsburgh is the birthplace of KDKA, which was born in 1920 as the first commercial radio station, and KDKA KDKA continues to operate today as both radio and television. KDKA pioneered the first live sporting event with one of the first Major League Baseball games to ever be broadcast. Pittsburgh is the city of the three rivers. You can see behind me both the Monongahela River and the Allegheny River, and then you see Point State Park, and the confluence there comes together to form the Ohio River. And fun fact, underneath the fountain actually is a glacial aquifer. So a lot of people sometimes refer to that as the fourth river, but mainly the three rivers in the Pittsburgh region are the Monongahela River, the Allegheny River, that those two come together to form the Ohio River, and you should be able to see that behind me at Point State Park. Number 3 on our list is that we have transformed this region from a steel town to a robotics town. Pittsburgh was the leading producer of steel throughout the world for many decades. And when that industry collapsed and things went international, Pittsburgh over the last decades has really reinvented itself. And one of the big drivers has been technology, particularly coming out of Carnegie Mellon University. And there's a huge robotics movement within Pittsburgh. And there's a lot of tech startups that have done extraordinarily well. So Pittsburgh is now known for its robotics and engineering and all things technology. Number 2 on our list, I want to talk about the housing market in the Pittsburgh region. It really is extraordinary. It's an anomaly across the country. Our median sales prices are about 30% below the national average. Pittsburgh is one of the few places where it's actually cheaper to buy a home than it is to rent. The other thing that is unique about the Pittsburgh housing market, it is very stable. You've heard, of course, about the 2008 recession. And there was a small impact here in the Pittsburgh region, but nothing compared to what happened in other places around the country. And it really is a recession-proof housing market that has very soft and round curves. The fluctuations that you're going to see in most housing markets just are not that steep here in the Pittsburgh region. When we do have fluctuations, they're very mild, and the appreciation, although it does not jump off the charts, it is steady. And in most areas, with more information, we can definitely drop down and talk about specific neighborhoods if that's what you're interested in, getting some data on that. But overall, the Pittsburgh region has a very strong housing market and very affordable. And the number 1 unique factor I want to mention about the Pittsburgh region is that it sits within Allegheny County. There are 130 municipalities in Allegheny County that have all totally different vibes, feels, totally different real estate markets. Those 130 municipalities really make Pittsburgh such a unique and complex real estate market. Definitely not a place that you can come as an outsider from out of state and to easily figure out what neighborhoods and communities might be the best fit. So there are so many different options if you're thinking about a move to the Pittsburgh region. So if you've made it this far in the video, you're probably like a lot of the families that I work with that are moving to the Pittsburgh region. And there's something about the current place that they live that just isn't the right fit. I get a lot of people that I get calls from Florida, Texas, California, Pacific Northwest, and they might be coming for affordability, but they're also the lifestyle in those places is not meeting their needs. You know, I meet with families all the time that are visiting Pittsburgh for the first time and checking out the region, and they're always blown away by how friendly and welcoming the Pittsburgh region is, and they just love all of the neighborhoods and visiting and checking out all the many amazing things there are to do in the Pittsburgh region, and they really can't wait to move here. And then when I check in on them months after they've moved in, everyone is always telling me how much they love it. They wish they would have done it sooner. If you are looking for a resource that might be useful, I have a free Pittsburgh relocation guide that you can find down in the description. There's a link, there's a QR code on your screen. Download that relocation guide to get some more information about the Pittsburgh region. I take a deep dive into what it is like living in the Pittsburgh region, as well as highlight specific neighborhoods and communities that many of the families I work with are the most popular with them. Check out that relocation guide and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching and welcome to Pittsburgh.